hot core secrets to mastering the speaking game. Are you ready for this, Toni?
I hope so.
Ah, all right, you
Uh,
guys, share this out. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Here we go. Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy. Toni, I was super, super excited. First of all, that I was the one that got to interview you, recording all of this. And I want you, we did a little intro. We talked a little bit about why the Week of Kindness and a little bit about who you are. But talk to us about who Toni Kaufmann is as far as the founder and CEO of Standout Stars, Speakers Bureau, Week of Kindness, SOS TV. Like, Toni, tell us about a little bit more about your history, if you don't mind, and how we got to this place.
well, first of all, I'm a true avid geek. I love computers. I immersed myself in computers as a whole. Back when Microsoft was just kicking off their operating systems. uh, and I've been gosh, I've trained people on computers. But before that, and I'm talking about uh, actually the late '70s, early '80s.
Mhm.
I was actually a station manager for a very small little one of the very first cable television channels in the Rio Grande Valley in a little town called Pharr, 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 Texas. And I was the on-air talent, and the people in California are going to cringe, but the like Texas is a non-union state, so I had like 15 jobs.
Oh
Okay,
my
if you're in California, you only
God.
have one.
Oh my
So
God.
one of my jobs was because of the FCC licensing for new cable stations, but when cable television first came out, you had to produce so many hours of local origination programming, which meant live shows or produced in the valley shows. So I mean, if you ever saw the movie, was it UHF or VHF with Weird Al?
Oh my gosh.
That
Yeah.
was my life. That was basically my life. I mean, I was in the dog suit. I was reading. I created, children's shows. I had the low riders drive their cars in and teach me everything about what they had in their cars. I think we had the first low rider car show ever in history on television. And then I would do like an American Bandstand, but for 3 hours on Saturday mornings, we had the entire studio filled with kids. We called it the Boogie Wonderland, and this is obviously back in the '70s, and they would dance. And they would dance. We had the camera, like the American Bandstand. So we would literally have like 200 kids dropped off, little Hispanic, Mexican American kids, dancing their heart out in front of a camera. And of course, we had like the whole valley watching us. So we would, I mean, and that led and I did the news, and we did the Catholic Report, and so we were basically producing 5.5 hours a day of local
Wow.
origination programming, and that included the pastors and the missionaries. Anybody who could buy a half hour, I was game. So
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah, so that was my job, and the reason I even bring that up is because as that led to me working with Disney, that led to me working with Hanna-Barbera. So hold on to your hat, Lisa. Do you know that I was actually Scooby Doo at the
No.
malls? Yeah, I was inside Scooby Doo.
Oh my
So it
God.
also led to us creating 7 years of spring break in North and South Padre Island. That also led to my opening one of the very first Hispanic modeling agencies. In the United States, there was one in
Wow.
LA, and I had the one in Texas, in
Wow.
McAllen, Texas, actually. Anyway, so that see how it all kind of snowballed, and then I went through my introvert period, which was when I was going through a divorce, and so I kind of immersed myself in computers, and that led to me opening up the world class the Computer Help Desk and Micro Support Unlimited. I was a Microsoft certified partner. I was a Microsoft technical evangelist. So yeah, so that was, and I got to speak all over, preaching the word. I think we did a good job. Do you use Word and Excel, or Word
Yes.
Perfect and Lotus?
Okay, so yes, you did because I remember WordPerfect and Lotus. That's where I started. And what was it, Harvard Graphics?
Oh, that's exactly what I used to teach. Yeah. And that was because PowerPoint wasn't out yet, and
No, it
there
wasn't.
wasn't an Office product yet. It was just
Yeah,
Windows,
no.
Word, and Excel. That's it. And
And
of course, Windows was the operating system.
the craziest thing, okay, so we're so dating ourselves. So some of y'all are not gonna have any clue what in God's name we're talking about, and that's okay. Just this is back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and before Moses parted the Red Sea. So, so honestly, I can remember thinking way, way back then, because Windows really wasn't a thing.
No.
It wasn't as an operating system. I can remember thinking way back then, this was not very prophetic or very insightful of me at the time. I was like, oh, that Windows stuff, that's never going to take. I, we're never going to go, never. I can't even see this. This is so, this, because it was horrible when it first came out. It was slow, it was clunky, it was
Uh-huh.
hard to use.
And it was not networkable. And
No.
I worked in the oil, the energy field, and I had a bunch of clients that actually Microsoft recommended us to them. But we're getting some memories there. But yeah, we actually networked Windows, and even weirder, we networked, which had never been done, Word and Excel. So there was a lot of beta testing of these products. And one of the places that we beta tested, for example, when PowerPoint was first came out, we were beta testing it in a big energy company in downtown Houston, and it was my client. So
Wow.
we were converting the heathens from Harvard Graphics to PowerPoint is what we were doing.
Wow.
So that was, but if you there used to be a business supply place called CompUSA. I don't know if you ever remember. I think Nolan Ryan, the baseball player, used to own a
Yeah.
part of that in Houston or in Texas anyway. And I would go to every like 3 per Saturday, because there was like probably 17 of them in the state. So
Yeah.
I would go to at least 3 per Saturday, and I would do a 1 hour free. This is Windows, this is Word, this is Excel. It's just a 1 hour, become exposed. The fun part, you're gonna laugh at me,
Oh my
was
God.
that when I got there, CompuSafe didn't sell mice yet. Mouses.
Oh my God.
So I was the fastest speed key person on the planet because I taught him how to use it with a keyboard. And you're right, it was a pain. Tab, 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 tab. Okay, Alt
That's
tab,
so
tab, tab, tab,
funny.
tab.
That's so funny. That's so
So
funny.
yeah,
So, okay, so we have this that all of that and then you somehow got into television and producing and all of that.
yeah.
So tell us some of the shows you produced, by the way. You guys, you're going to be amazed. Some of the shows you
So
produced.
I produced the Latin Grammys when they came into Houston. I've done a couple of shows at the back dating myself at the Astrodome. We produced a couple of shows at the Astrodome.
Oh my
I was
God.
working very closely with Fremantle Media, and Fremantle
Mm.
Media, which is the producer of all these game shows that you grew up with,
Wow.
uh, also has Fremantle Media Latin America. And so I got a contract to help do casting for Family Feud,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
Spanish counterpart is called "Que dice la gente," which means what people say. You
Oh
know,
my
and then
God.
so I got this find families to be on the show from Texas to California, and then we did American Idol's Spanish version was called Objective Fame, Objetivo Fama, and we did. God, I did that all over the state. from El Paso to Galveston, right, and back up to Dallas, and then down to Corpus. So
Wow.
we cast all the talent for that. And then we had, let's see, America's Top Model Spanish version was Belleza Latina, which is beautiful Latinas, right?
Oh my
Or
goodness.
Latin beauty. And so we've worked on those shows, and then there's just been, I mean, I cast for some of the telenovelas, and
Yes.
for the
Yes.
Spanish version of Cheaters, which I really didn't like it also.
No,
Did not
that's
like that.
messy. Tony's not with the mess. So if any of y'all come over here trying to start the mess, Tony's not with the mess. Okay. Let's be nice to Tony. She's my auntie. Okay. She's my aunt. She's all of ours auntie. Okay. But then also American Idol, right? And so it's like some like you've done a lot of
Yeah,
amazing things. When when if we want to give some core secrets, because there's a lot of us out here that are either we're in front of a camera now with the
yeah,
with YouTube and all forms of social media, and there's a lot of people that will come to hear us talking and they want to make a difference and they want to get out here and speak, and but they really they don't understand the secrets
yeah,
and
yeah.
how to kind of get into these spaces. Can you help us out a little bit with how we
Absolutely.
could do that?
Yeah, because that's basically what I did is as after my last job, which was working as a chief of staff of global IT for the SAP division at Hewlett Packard. um, uh, I I was laid off, and I was part of, my goodness, 58,000 people that were laid off that year. And so
Mm.
I remember sitting, with, head in hands again, and just feeling sorry for myself because I had been laid off. And it's so funny because we grow all of our lives, and when people say, "Who are you and what are you?" It's like your job title, right? This is who I
Yeah,
am. This is what I do. And
yeah,
all of a sudden I had lost all of that. So, I had to kind of come to terms with the fact that, okay, are you ready to be an entrepreneur again? And being an employee is, yes, it doesn't have freedom, et cetera, but you know what? It's got a regular paycheck.
yep, yep,
And there's a lot to be said about that,
yep,
because being an entrepreneur, unless you know a couple of good secrets, you're not going to treat it as a job, and you need to treat it as a job. A
absolutely,
business is a business. And
absolutely.
so if you want to do speaking as a hobby, that's fine. That's fine. You can immerse yourself in shiny objects, and I guarantee you there's thousands of dollars worth of them.
Hmm.
But building a successful speaking business, it takes time and effort. And you know what, guys? When I first got into the world of speaking, authors, healers, coaches, I had a completely different business model in my head than what eventually evolved into Standout Stars Speakers Bureau.
Hmm.
Um, so it was just, yeah, and everything. Even my first book was called Act Two: Your Show Must Go On, because I had this whole thing written out, action and communications and continuity and transformation and all this kind of stuff. It all
Yes.
changed because I found once again the perfect marriage between, you know, business and speaking, and how you put them both together. And so being a producer, being a casting director, being a talent manager, and being a celebrity, so to speak, had, this is where I found myself wanting to serve the speaking community.
Yeah.
So we decided to create three levels of speakers. So I call my favorite is the emerging babies. The first level speakers, the folks that, the folks that when I talk to them on the phone or on our first meeting, they're like, "I've been speaking all my life. Put me on stage now." And I'm like, "No, that's not. You're not ready. Trust me, you're not ready." you know and so we've got the emerging babies, and emerging doesn't just mean that you can't speak, guys. That's not what I'm trying to say. But emerging means that you haven't fully understood the business systems. You may not have a website, you may not have a landing page, you may not have an offer, you may not have a gift, you may not have a signature talk, you may not have a speak to sell talk, you don't have your repertoire built up. And I've got, by the way, if anybody wants to go to standoutstars.com, there's a free speaker success kit there that has the checklist of how to move from emerging to experienced to expert. And so it's about 9 pages, and I love the fact that the checklist is there. So, you know what? I just gave away a free offer.
You gave
We're going to give you
another
two free
free
offers.
offer. All right, so it's okay, guys. Hang on, let's do this. You know me, I got to put it in here. So go to standoutstars.com, HTTPS, and then
standoutstars.com,
yeah,
and
there we
there's
go.
little bubbles, and one of them says your free speaker success kit. So just click on that, fill out the form, and it will be in your email box.
And then you guys then will be able to be in contact with Toni.
Yeah.
Toni and I are starting we're just going to be joined at the hip, I guess. I don't know how this, God has an amazing way of putting people together, doesn't he?
So
An
true.
amazing way of putting people together. And so you'll be able to be in contact with Toni, and then we're going to be working. So God, she's amazing. She has done so much for me, and like changing how I look at what I'm speaking, how I'm saying it, and even in my own business, how I write, rewrite, present all of the wonderful offers and ways that we help to serve the community of spirit-based and heart-centered entrepreneurs. Um, she's amazing, guys. So I'm putting this in the chat right now so much we can rotate this through.
So Lisa, here's the secret: is when I say you become, there's a joke in the industry. It's like once you're a casting director, you're always a casting director. And what that means is that, I mean, I could sit at the food court at the mall and just cast people as they walk by. I'm like, that face belongs in the mafia movie. This one, oh, she's a princess. Oh my God, this one's a Native American Pocahontas. Oh, she's gorgeous. That kind of. So your brain's always going on, right? And
Right.
so what I found by immersing myself in the speaking community, I would, go to all these live events before 2020,
Mhm.
and would sit in tables of 10, right? And I would in my brain I amuse myself a lot, but my kids say I never get bored because I'm always amusing myself. But
That's awesome.
but you as you hear people develop their pitch, or as you just hear them being themselves and not having the clarity and not having the vision, but having that heart to
Mhm.
want to serve others, that really turns me on, to be real honest with you. And
Yes.
so I look back and I listen to them and I see them, and in my marketing brain, I'm like putting their image together, putting their brand together, putting what the steps they need to take. And
Mm.
sometimes it's like the very beginning, and you have a branding company, you know exactly what I'm saying. You talk to
Yes.
someone and they're like, well, I need a website. And then my first question was, why? You know, no, honestly, why? I mean, if you just wanted to be a catalog or a fancy resume, you got the wrong idea, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, a website is supposed to work for you, not
Yes.
be a pain for you, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so let's talk a little bit about, maybe 4 or 5 things to help create a successful speaking business. And
Absolutely.
so it takes time, it takes effort, but you know what? With the right strategy, the right mentors, the right approach, it can be very rewarding and even profitable. And that's kind of our goal. So let's if you got your pencils and paper handy, guys, the first thing we have to do is develop your expertise, because every single one of you have a story, every single one of you have a mission, a vision. It may not be clear yet, but it will be. So you start drafting, just drafting, journaling your thoughts of God, I met this lady today. I think I could really help her do this. And after 3.5 years, my list got so big because every time I meet someone, I would journal what the impression they made and where I see them and how I, have fun with them, and God, they've got a great smile, or they've got a great story, or they've got a great mission. A friend of mine who wanted to put an end to sugar because that's the number one addiction in the United States and in the world, actually. had this incredible story. I can make you sugar free in 7 days. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding? That's amazing, right? So people who that's what I love about this entire industry, guys, is that when you speak to someone, when you're in a table of 10 and you're listening to their stories, they nobody ever sits there and says, well, I'm just in this for the money. Nobody says that. They're like, I would. It's like the Miss America. They want to change the world. They want to make an impact. They want to. Something my dad told me when I was 17, 16 years old was, I want to make the world a better place, or I want to make it better, leave it better than how I found it. When my dad told me that, I thought he was a genius, and I didn't realize until about 30, 40 years later that that was actually an Einstein quote. You didn't know that, did you, Lisa? So anyway, developing your expertise is the first step. And not only that, remember how I told you I ended up downloading 30 how-to books and doing this. So there's an old quote that if you want to develop become an expert, most experts say they have to put in about 10,000 hours of work. That's so true, because not only did I immerse myself in my heroes and people who helped me with Jay Facette and Imana Guy, and I went to Robin Sharma and bought his books. By the way, if you've never seen The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, you've got to get that book, by the way, guys. It's a wonderful book. I got to meet authors like Michael Gerber. I got to take pictures of Martha Stewart at Carnegie Hall. So I mean, this is you immerse yourself in something. You give yourself about 10,000 hours, and you better believe you're going to be an expert. So, but you have it focused. It's not just oh, I'm gonna watch 10,000 hours of Netflix. You know? So so that's kind of what you want to. There's one main goal in establishing yourself as a go-to expert or an expert in your field, and that's the fact that you will get the credibility and the help, and you create the community around you who will become your preferred partners, your JVs, joint ventures, your affiliate partners. And you start small, because every step has its own lessons, right? And then you make sure, guys, you get yourself a mentor who will save you a lot of money, because they, like me, I made all the mistakes. I chased shiny objects. I didn't spend, I invested in myself. Uh, but I did pick a couple of wrong programs. So that's the neat thing about our community, is you can say, hey, I was thinking of spending $30,000 on this program. What do you think? And I guarantee you that we'll find someone who's already been there, who says yes, I can never say that, unequivocally, that was a right decision, or no, you're not ready for that, hold on. And so that's the kind of community that we're building with the Standout Stars. So number one, develop your expertise, guys. The idea is that you're going to become a thought leader in your industry, and how that happens is by you getting a strong brand. And that, establishing a strong personal brand is the essence of your business. For example, you've seen the little orange and black circle that has Standout Stars in it. I think it's right above my head. That's our logo. Those are our company colors. Those are our fonts. That look and feel will be on everything that we're associated with, because that's the brand. And so when you see the little circle with Standout Stars, it could be the Standout Stars TV show. It could be the SOS. That's what we call SOS. It could be the Speakers Bureau. It could be the retreats. It could be the events that we're having. It could be the webinars, the masterminds. Everything we built as our packages and programs that will help you come along. And so that's kind of the importance of having that strong personal brand. So your brand should reflect who you are as a speaker and be consistent amongst all your marketing materials. And man, I'm so proud of the fact that we've done that for our next level people. I mean, every time now that I see this color, I'm like, oh, that's Patty's color. Oh, wait a minute, that's Tammy's color. Oh, Dan, yeah, definitely peak business. So it's so funny, because that's what you want people to do. And after working, for a year with these folks, we now have them down. So the next thing I want to do is, and this is something we do in our Get Business Ready thing, is we develop a marketing plan. So you got your business plan, you got your marketing plan. Now, why is marketing essential? Because you can't spend the money that you don't have unless you've got a sales program, a product, an offer to bring in the money, right? And it usually includes a free gift or a lead magnet or that kind of thing. So, in the world of brick and mortar, because I used to be the marketing director of a couple of malls, you take your entire income for that year and you grab 33% of that and you put that into your marketing budget, because that's what's going to yield or double your income for the next couple of years. So you have 12 months. And and for example, if you're in retail, there are 7 selling seasons in retail. So now you know that season one, season two, then you've got your clearances, your winter clearance, your spring clearance, your summer clearance. And then you've got, of course, the big one, which is the holidays. That's what brings in, 30-40% of your income in that fourth quarter, right? So now you know how much to spend that quarter, because based on the amount of money that gets brought into your total budget on the business plan, you've got a marketing plan. So it's really essential, especially for a new budding speaking business, because it includes strategies for visibility, for reaching out, for networking, for building relationships, and for meeting industry influencers. Cool?
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I
All
love
right.
it. So number one was developing, you got to develop your expertise.
Yeah.
Number two, establish a strong brand. And in that's going to be kind of your business plan as well, guys. Your brand is also your business plan. Those of you that are here with me, we talk about this a lot. And those of you that have become students of mine, we definitely talk about this all the time. So that shouldn't be anything new, but sometimes it's good to hear it again, right? You have to remember, you don't just go to McDonald's or Starbucks or Target or whatever. Like when you see and golden arches, you know that's McDonald's.
That's true.
You see a red circle with a dot in it, the first thing you're thinking of is Target,
That's so
right?
true. That's exactly what it is. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So let me give you the next one, because the
Yeah.
next one is super important, especially when you're starting out. And this is why you see the 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 joint venture industry. You've got
Mhm.
JV Discovery, you've got JV Connect, you've got JVIC, you've got JV Directory, you've got Speaker Connections, you've got Speakers Playhouse, you guys want to network? Trust me, I've got them in my head everywhere you should be. Like tomorrow,
Absolutely.
we even have the pitch party for Easy Way Networks. The pitch party's
Absolutely.
every other Thursday. Come join
Yes.
us, have some fun.
Yes.
But before you do that, let's make sure, number one, you're not wasting your time, because a lot of these meetings are 90 minutes or more, right?
Hmm.
So you want to build your pitch. It's very important. I mean, the old term was an elevator pitch, which basically meant you got 7 seconds, which is like a billboard, on a major highway. You got 7 seconds to establish whether or not they're going to like you or want you or do whatever. But you're not
Absolutely.
wasting anybody's time. I
Yep.
can't tell you how horrible it is to sit in a group of people and have somebody say, "Okay, you got a minute to deliver your pitch." And after a minute, all they've told you is where they're from and what they did and what they ate for breakfast. It's like, no, 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 you just wasted a minute. So our good friend Kimberly Crow, who's also Speakers Playhouse, who's also got a talk here, is one of my favorite sayings of hers is, if you get us when a speaker gets a mic, you speak, right? You never turn it down. You always come up, but you guys, you need to make sure that you deliver value, and that you're very clear about what you can do for them or what you need back from you. And that's the difference between the sales pitch and the pitch that makes people want to help you, what I call the referral pitch,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so when you're in a lot of these networking and building relationships venues, networking is the key. You know why? Because networking builds relationships. And my favorite captain, Captain Lou, says, who has a marketer's cruise, there's no ship better than relationships. Okay. So you build a relationship, and it's so funny. I can't tell you, at least because you're a spiritual worker. I know you heard this
Yeah.
before, but that's where you find out if this is a good match for you. The networking, you'll start building
Yes.
relationships. Some people hit right away. Industry professionals are there. You definitely want to see who you want to work with. Event planners are there.
Yep.
God, I really like what she does. I'd want to work with her. And
Yep.
then you give people a second chance and a third chance. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that starts what we call your pipeline, right? Your pipeline is all your leads, which Lisa is a pro at getting leads. So I think what I saw your calendar, you had like 15 meetings in one day, and I'm like, and they're that color. Why? Oh, they're all leads, and I'm like, you're amazing. Let me have that problem, please. So that's the power of networking and relationships. So the other thing that we want to do right before, and Lisa, you need to tell me how much time I've got because I don't
Yeah.
want to be.
So we're coming. We're 18 minutes.
Okay. All right. So here's the most important part of all of this, guys. You need to evaluate and adjust your strategy every day, regularly. What's working? What's not working? What are you spending on that's not yielding? What can you invest in that would be better? Continuously evaluate the effectiveness of your strategy and setting up that strategy, setting up that branding, setting up that pitch, setting up your networking plan, all of that. By the way, guys, that's something that we're going to offer for 3 days in Atlantic City, February the 12th through the 16th. We're doing what's called a VIP day so that you can have our time personally or in a very small group of 3 to 10 people. That's it. The February the 13th, 14th, and 15th at the fabulous Borgata Hotel in Atlantic City. We're going to be there doing, you know, what I call a one hit wonder. We're going to build your business. You're going to spend 6 to 8 hours with us, and I'm treating you to lunch and dinner. And then, well, in one day you should have this booklet done for you to get your clarity, to get your sales, to get your networking done, to understand your marketing plan, to understand your positioning. All of that is happening in Atlantic City, February the 13th, 14th, and 15th. You only need to be there for one of those days. So every day we start new with a new group. And by the way, now that I've given myself a shameless pitch, I want I want to tell you the eighth strategy that's the most important thing. You have to practice, practice, practice. One of my favorite TEDx coaches says for every minute of a TEDx stage, which is between 14 and 15 minutes, you have to practice an hour. So you have to get it down. You have to memorize it. It has to be part of your being. It has to be your essence. It has to be your talk. And remember, I mean, TEDx stages don't let you sell. This is motivation, inspiration, education, that kind of a talk. So practice and continue to improve your speaking skills on every platform that you can, which is another reason that I decided to create a speakers bureau, because we also have events that you can go to. We have places that you can, we have our clients events, we've got workshops, masterminds. And by the way, our new event directory is over at the Easy Way Wall of Fame. So if you
Yes.
have your Wall of Fame, we have an event, and guess who's watching that every day to see what events are coming up so that we can get you on stages and visibility and on shows and on podcasts and maybe even creating your own summit, which if you are into the experience level, not the emergings are going to fill this, but if you're into the next level where you've already invested in yourself, you've already ready,
Mhm.
now you need to add to your marketing calendar events. For example,
Absolutely.
we have 3 retreats, but each of these retreats build your speaking, your stage, and your business in 3 days, right? Those are retreats because we also have a lot of fun and we treat ourselves to all kinds of things. And for example, in Austin, we did music, bats, and wine. So wine, music, and bats. So we have a lot of fun. In Vegas, we did some amazing stuff as well. but that's kind of what you want to do, is
Yeah.
incorporate for you experienced pros, and definitely for the experts. That's a whole different level. We're not going to talk about it today, but yes, we do offer talent representation, and we have the ability to negotiate uh, getting paid to speak.
Yes.
But for our experienced babies, this is what I call the next level. This is where you need to be, because we want you to be in books, in magazines. We want you to get awards. We want you to attend workshops. We want to promote your workshops, your masterminds, and all that kind of stuff. So now we're talking into the experience level. And for if you don't know what in the world I mean by masterclass and all that, please just give us a comment and we'll make sure we answer your questions.
Yes,
So now you see the
absolutely.
difference between the emerging babies and the experienced babies, and then they go into the experts. So
Absolutely.
that's what it is. And you know what? If you don't concentrate on anything else, you concentrate this year. If you're an emerging baby, you concentrate this year on getting yourself a good mentor, because they will make time fly.
Yes. Mentors have changed my life.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and
Mentors have
saved me a
changed.
lot of money too. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. And it might feel in the moment, you're like, oh, this is, but honestly, you guys, this is an investment in yourselves, right? I invest in myself. I still have mentors. I don't just not now,
oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like I still have mentors. And just I wouldn't be where I am right now in business as an entrepreneur had I not. Toni, and honestly, and either one of us, we would love to have an opportunity to just chat with you guys, and we're going to talk a little bit more about those opportunities for us to get to know you.
yeah.
For Toni to get to know you from me separately, but or together. Toni's got this. Listen, you guys, to be able to get 2 free tickets to any of the Standout Stars workshops, webinars, or masterminds. Now, this doesn't include the trip down to Cabo.
Yeah.
You all are going to have to pay for that one, but but,
Well,
but some of the
that
other,
that's a workshop, that's a working time.
it's a
Right,
work. Yeah,
right,
it
right.
absolutely is. IRS, if you're listening, it absolutely is. Um, can you
And the
tell us a little
marketer's
bit
cruise. I mean, we
about?
gotta we gotta go work that, relationships, right?
Yes, absolutely. What could they, when they go to that site there that I've got in the chat on the
Uh-huh.
screen, and then you guys, if you've already registered for the event, then you'll be able to get access to all of the gifts right there on that page for free. So the free gifts, and then when you upgrade to VIP, you'll get the other gifts. But talk to us. What are these 2 free tickets? What can they expect to be able to do or
Well, we've
attend?
got we've got quite a few. There's webinars, there's masterminds, there's master classes, and
Mhm.
by the way, guys, so what you just heard me go through is one page of a 27-page booklet that I'm putting together to help basically create this course for you, so that in so many weeks you're going to be ready. Um, and so what I wanted to do was, because so many of our clients are bringing home webinars and workshops and fulfillment events and that kind of thing. We wanted to give you 2 free tickets to any of these. So if somebody's charging $97 or 197 or something like that, and you make an appointment with me and say, okay, I saw this event, I saw this podcast, I saw this thing, and they're charging, can you help me get a couple of free tickets, or a ticket to one, and then you get another ticket later on. So in 2023 right now we're looking at about 37 events, about 120 stages, about 600 podcasts. So if you feel like, okay, I need to get one of these, now you've got us.
Yeah.
You've got someone that you can say, Toni, I really want to be on this stage, what can you do for me? and
Good.
and that gets us to work with you. So it establishes the beginning relationship of whether or not Standout Stars is for you. And so basically, people actually can't even do this unless they're Founders Club members, which is a 1997 program per year,
Yeah.
and they have basically 10 hours of private access time with me during the entire year, plus all of the benefits and all of the free tickets and all that kind of stuff. So we do have a basic membership, which is about 97 a month. And we then have the Founders Club membership, and then there's only 10 slots per year for the next level. And so, if you want to have these conversations, I mean, we really want to work with you because I think you're going to love it. And but I'm going to warn you. Remember what we told Patty? Hold on to your hat. This is going to be a fast ride. In
Yeah,
1 year, you will get to where you're speaking like we are right now, Lisa,
right.
on events and holding your own summits and holding your own workshops. So
Yes.
thank God we've been fortunate enough to build a repertoire of events for you. And so once I get to know you, I can tell you which one's probably the perfect place for you. Or you can just pull me aside for an hour and say, can I ask you like 10 questions? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's wonderful, guys. Spending an hour with Tony is just it's so valuable. The other thing, and I want to be sure we get this in before things begin to keep, because they're going to keep moving.
Yeah.
The VIP session plus booking.
Yeah.
Are you camera ready virtual session with Tony? Now, you guys are going to get a discount on this. I put the value in there. Again, you go to that link or you come to the VIP page. Okay. Once you upgrade to VIP. Okay. Now, um, I just took that link down because I just realized. Anyway, I will know. I will tell Tony if you guys go to that link and try to get that, and I don't have you on my list. I'm like Santa. We'll cross you off. We'll tack
All
on
right.
another
Let,
97.
let me explain what that's all about. So
Yes.
basically, my most successful free gift on every single gift giveaway I've ever done in the past 4 years has been the Are You Camera Ready workshop. And what that means is that for about 90 minutes, we sit in a Zoom room. We adjust your camera, your lights, your backgrounds. I show you how to work Zoom well, and then we get to do a makeup makeover. So this is like a pajama party. Okay, it's like a sleepover, right? So I mean, I show you about the highlighters and the contours and the eyeshadows and all that kind of stuff. And by the time you're done, I mean, you better have a date that night because you're going to go looking gorgeous.
Wow.
So we do a makeup makeover. So it's a complete little slumber party, basically. But it's very serious because the next thing that I've added to it, which is new for 2023, is that if you're camera ready, now you can be on one of our TV shows. So whether it's the Week of Kindness, whether it's the World Class Mentors, whether it's SOS TV, and trust me, we've got about 60 other channels that are looking for guests. You are going to be on a stage and a TV show, so that you can now start building what Lisa is a master at, your YouTube channel. That kind of thing. All right. So that's the kind of stuff that we want to offer you. Is not only are you gonna have a makeup makeover, but you're gonna be camera ready. Plus, you're gonna understand how to use Zoom to the best ability. And on top of that, we want to book you on one of the shows. And
Absolutely, we
so
do.
just that alone is normally worth about $1,000 is to get on somebody's stage. And for example, I mean, Lisa, you've got like almost 10,000 subscriptions on just one of your stages. So that's
Yes.
kind of what we're looking for. And by the way, that's the next level from emerging to experience, is to get you that level of notoriety and visibility.
Yes, absolutely. That is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely. Guys, you don't understand the value. So somebody would normally pay her $2,500 for that. The
Yeah.
day that we were just talking about, the VIP day, and some of you guys have been with Tony, some of you guys have been with me, like separately when we have our days or our hour like intensive virtually. Can you imagine the absolute quantum creative energy of being with us, and we're just focused on you? To be you and a couple other people, but it's this really small incubator where we get to focus in on you. We get to feel and sense each other's energy and that creativity. To spend 8 hours with either one of us would normally end up in the thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And and we're not saying that because we're just like, arrogant or whatever, you know, but we understand business entrepreneurship, speaking, video, presentation. Y'all know I will get on your hindquarters if your quality is not
Yeah.
right. And you can do it for not a lot of money. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You could do it for not a lot of money. So having these opportunities to work, and Toni is just the first. She's the founder of this whole thing, but she's just the first of. We have about 60 speakers. We have over 60 speakers throughout this entire 4 days that are all going to be giving you value and teaching, and it's just gonna be amazing. So you guys go ahead and Cerese, if you can put up that week of kindness, like where they can go and register. If you want to put that in the chat for me, that would be amazing. um Toni, we're gonna need to wrap up because our
I'm,
next
I'm
our
I am
next
wrapped.
speaker is coming.
It's a
Our
wrap.
next You're wrapped?
It's
You're
a
done? You
wrap.
want to leave us with anyone? I'm gonna guys, for those of you watching live, y'all know how I do. I'm gonna play the outro, but guys, you are gonna get redirected if you're in the chat, and I'm gonna put the link up. You're gonna get redirected to the next speaker. So I'm gonna give Toni a chance to kind of leave us with a thought that she would like to leave us with, and take it away, Toni.
All right, guys. So if you've ever thought of being on stage, of being a speaker, of getting a business started, of moving from employee to entrepreneur, and then how to sell your business and how to network, if you've ever thought about any of that stuff, one of my favorite sayings of all times is remember that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So somebody out there needs to hear your story. Somebody out there is asking God or their angels right now to introduce them to someone that can help them. And so many of our speakers started off that way. I mean, from overcoming horrible diagnosis to oh my gosh, to being the solo survivor of a plane crash and being told that your bones are so broken that you'll never be able to move or walk again. And by the way, she's one of our speakers here right now, and she's walking. And I mean, we've got some incredible stories, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So please join us, and please sign up so you can get all these wonderful gifts. And we'll see you. We're going to become friends in the next 4 days. But God bless you, and thanks for being here.
Wow. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet, so just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.